Hello everybody, Interintere back again with another video. Guys, to be quite honest with you, I was planning to do this video when I will wake up, because it is middle of the night here in Sweden after seeing this breathtaking final, this breathtaking US Open final, this mind-boggling US Open final. Not for the quality of the match, because the quality of the match, it was up and down from the start to the finish. We who saw this US Open final 2020, we could witness that it was not the big three who was on the court. It was pretty obvious, guys. And when I was seeing this final, I was thinking with myself, man, the big three, they are not humans, man. They are machines. Because look what it took for Dominic Thiem to win his first Grand Slam title. Just look what it took. 4 hours of brutal tennis, where in the end of the match, guys, he could barely walk. You could see it by yourself. Man, he could barely walk. He was cramping. I thought with myself, man, this guy, he should be one of the most strongest physical beasts in the ATP Tour. When have we ever seen Dominic Thiem being this tired? But he proved to ourselves that even he is human, and I have never seen him being this tired before, but he was really tired in the end of the match. But anyway, he somehow won this battle. Man, what a match this was, guys. What a match this was, guys. Like I said, not the best quality match, but the drama, it was there. Sasha Zverev, he started this final the best, like we saw. Dominic Thiem, like I said in my preview, when I did my final preview, we don't know how Dominic Thiem will react to be as a favorite in a Grand Slam final, because we know that his three previous Grand Slam finals that he has lost, he has not been the favorite. He has went into the court with nothing to lose, because he has been playing against giants, against icons, against the greatest tennis player of all time on clay, Rafael Nadal, with 12 French Open titles, and then his third Grand Slam final, that was against Djokovic earlier this year, the player who has won Australian Open most times of all the players in history. So in those three finals, Dominic was the underdog. Here, for the first time, he was the favorite. Guys, I have not seen anyone in both social media, both in YouTube, nobody was believing in Alexander Sasha Zverev. The entire tennis world, they were believing in Dominic Thiem. He was huge favorite. And Sasha knew this, Dominic knew this, everybody knew this. And when the match started, you could see that Dominic, he was tight, he was flat, he was nervous. The entire 2 weeks that we have seen him play tremendous good tennis here in New York, it was not that Dominic Thiem that showed up tonight. He didn't show up in those two first sets. Yeah, Sasha, he played really good in those first two sets. I cannot take anything away from him, but he was getting a lot of help from Dominic. We have to be honest, guys. Man, Dominic, he was awful. He didn't have any serve the first and second set. His first serve, it was on vacation. I don't know where it was. It was not in New York. It must probably have been in Hawaii or something, because in the first two sets, Dominic, he was playing tennis with second serves. And guys, all respect to Dominic's second serve, but you don't win this kind of huge matches in this kind of crazy high level with only playing with your second serve. And of course, Dominic lost both the first and the second set. And the problem was not only that he didn't land any first serves the first two sets. He just was doing a lot of unforced errors the first and the second set. He was just he was just tight. He was nervous. He was really passive as well. He was not taking the ball on the rise. He was not taking the ball early. He was not taking time away from Sasha Zverev. He was not dictating. Dominic Thiem was a goalkeeper the first two sets. All the credit to Sasha, who won the first set, I believe 6-2, and the second 6-4. Dominic started to get up his level in the middle of the second set, but it was already too late. Sasha was, I believe, 5-1 up in the second set, and he was 2-break up in the second set. And Dominic, he took back one break, but he couldn't take back the second break. So Sasha won the second set 6-4. Then in the third set, Dominic was, like I said, he started to take his teeth into the match in the middle of the second set, Dominic Thiem, with help of Sasha Zverev as well, because Sasha Zverev serve the first two sets, it was a monster. He had a monster serve. He had high percentage of first serves the first two sets. Dominic, he could barely touch his serve. And what is Sasha Zverev's biggest weapon? Of course, it is his serve. It is his first serve, not the second serve, all right? Don't misunderstand me here, because it is the first serve. And the first two sets, Sasha was really crushing that first set, that first serve. He had very, very high percentage of first serves in the first two sets. So Dominic, he could not touch Sasha's serve the first two sets. I believe that Dominic, he braked Sasha's serve the first two sets only one time, if I'm not mistaken, and that was the second set. In the first set, Dominic didn't break Sasha's serve zero times. But the second set, he braked Sasha's serve only one time. So he started to take his teeth into the match in the middle of the second set, Dominic Thiem. And then in the third set, Dominic was, he still was playing pretty far behind the baseline. He was not playing really close to the baseline, but he took his teeth more into Sasha Zverev's service games. And Sasha Zverev's first percentage of first serve in, they went down. And we all know that Sasha Zverev doesn't have any tremendous good of second serve. It is really, really sad to see this kind of elite player like Sasha Zverev, who is top 10 in the world, to have this kind of weak second serve. And that this has not always been the case. Man, when he was winning those Masters 2-3 years ago, Sasha had a great second serve. But the last 24 months, Sasha Zverev's second serve, it has just been on vacation somewhere in the world. I don't know where. Doesn't matter. But his second serve is just really letting him down. So the third set, Dominic won it 6-4. Yeah, I believe he won the third set 6-4. He took his teeth into the match with the help of Sasha Zverev. Then Dominic, he won the fourth set as well. 6-3, I believe. Dominic won the fourth set. So this was a very tight match, guys. Like we all saw, it was only 1 point here and there who decided the winner, and in the end Dominic won. And then the fifth set, man, what a drama the fifth set was. My God, I was really I'm not a fan of none of these players, guys. I'm a fan of tennis. To me, it didn't matter who would win. I just wanted to see a good final, and we saw not a great final. We saw a decent final. The quality was not there. The drama for sure was there, but not the quality. I believe so. And the fifth set, who started the fifth set best? Dominic started the fifth set best. He braked first. Then Sasha Zverev, he came back. Sasha Zverev, he came back and braked Dominic back, and then Sasha braked once again and had the opportunity to serve for the match, to serve for his first ever Grand Slam title. But of course, Sasha, went into his skin. He just couldn't serve for the match. He was so nervous. He was double faulting. He didn't even came to a match point. It was just and I knew it. I knew it. Even when Sasha broke for the second time in that fifth set and was serving for the title, I knew that this is not over yet. I really knew it. He was serving in that 5-3 game, in that 5-3 game to win the title, to win his first ever Grand Slam title. He choked. And was I surprised? Of course I was not surprised. Considering how this match was, Sasha was 2-love up down and a break up in the third set. He was in the lead. He had all the opportunities, but he couldn't convert. This match could have gone either way. Of course, everyone who understands tennis could clearly see this. For God's sakes, this match could have gone either way. In the end of the day, Thiem won 163 points and Sasha won 159 points in total in the match. So Thiem won only 4 more points than Sasha Zverev. Only 4 more points. So that is a proof to you and to me and to the entire world that this match could, of course, gone either way. In the end, it went Thiem's way. He deserved it. To be quite honest, I'm not a fan of none of these players, but my heart wanted Thiem to win in the end because of one reason. Because he has lost so many finals in the past. He has lost 3 Grand Slam finals against giants, against icons, against one of the greatest tennis players of all time, Djokovic and Nadal. Against two of the players, I should say, against two of the greatest tennis players of all time, Djokovic and Nadal. And Sasha was playing his first ever Grand Slam final. So I'm not a fan of none of these players, but if somebody forces me to choose who do you wish to win Inter Inter, I would say Dominic Thiem, just because he has lost 3 Grand Slam finals in the past, and in his 4th attempt he won it exactly like I previewed, exactly like I believed, but I didn't believe that Dominic will play this. This match was Dominic Thiem's, in my opinion, worst match in the tournament in US Open. Yeah, I know that a final is the most difficult match to win, of course, because you are facing the opponent who has won 6 matches exactly like you on the way. But he was never hitting his backhand, Dominic Thiem. He was just slicing. He didn't have any backhand in this match. He has had a great backhand the entire tournament. His slice is good. His slice is really good. It stays low on the court. It is not really easy to take it and to take it on the ground because it bounces so low. But he slices 9 of 10 backhands, for God's sakes. How many backhand winners did he do tonight, Dominic Thiem? Not many, because he was never going for his slice. He was never going for his backhand. Both of these players were really... Sasha was really offensive the first 2 sets, in my opinion. He was taking the ball on the rise. He was taking the ball early. He was clearly playing very close to the baseline. Much closer to the baseline what he has done in his 6 previous matches. And he even said it before the match. I need to have a great start. Exactly like I said as well. He cannot afford to have a bad start like he had against Bonachoric and like he had against Pablo Carreno Busta. And of course, Sasha Zverev, he knows that as well. And he said it before the match. I need to have a great start against Dominic, because if I don't have a great start, I cannot afford to have a bad start. So he knew this and he played really offensive, close to the baseline, taking the ball on the rise, taking the ball early, going for his shots, serving bombs. But after the 2 first sets, Sasha started to come. When Sasha realized that my God, I can win my first ever Grand Slam title. When he was up in the lead in the 3rd set with a break, then he started to get passive. He opened the door for Dominic. Dominic didn't do a great match. He really didn't do. Sasha didn't do a great match either, besides from the first 2 sets. But Sasha, he invited Dominic in the third set. He invited him by doing a loose game when he was a break up in the third set with bad unforced errors and with some couple of double faults. We all knew that Sasha will threw in a couple of double faults, a lot of double faults in this match. In the end, I believe he did 15 double faults and 15 aces. So he didn't do as many aces what he would have needed. He did, I believe, 24 against Pablo Carreño Busta, but Dominic is a better returner than Pablo Carreño Busta. So it is harder to ace Dominic than it is to ace Pablo Carreño Busta, for sure. Because Dominic stands, my God, he stands beside the line judges. Beside the line judges, he could hug them, for God's sakes, because he was so close. He was standing so far behind the court. He was standing even more far than Rafa Nadal used to do when he plays hardcore tennis, because he has so tremendous respect from Sasha's Zverev's huge first serve. So I can understand why Sasha didn't do more than 15 aces in 5 sets against Dominic, because Dominic is a better returner than Pablo Carreño Busta. So the stats, Dominic, I believe Dominic did 8 serve aces and 8 double faults. So Dominic was throwing a couple of double faults as well. This match had so many nerves, but for God's sakes. Sasha did 15 aces, 15 double faults. Sasha, like I said in my preview, if Sasha wants to win this match, if Sasha will win this match, he needs to serve between 65 to 70% first serve in. And he almost did that. He served 64% first serves in. And mostly of those first serves in, they were coming in the first 2 sets, not the third, fourth, and the fifth set, in my opinion. And you could clearly see that as well. So, but in the end of the entire match, he landed 64% first serves in and won 70% behind those first serves. 70%. That is a decent number. Dominic, he landed 62% first serves in. Dominic was serving horrible the first 2 sets, but the third, fourth, and the fifth set, he was getting a higher percent of first serves in. Not crazy much higher, but little more higher than the first 2 sets, because in the first 2 sets, Dominic didn't have any first serve at all. So Dominic landed in entire match 62% first serves in and won 68% behind those first serve, 68%. So it was similar stats on the numbers there. 7% winning percentage from Sasha the first serves, 68% from Dominic. So it was, the difference was on the second part of the services, which was not any surprise. Sasha won 41% first serves, second serves, 41%, which is okay to be Sasha Zverev. He was winning only 37% behind his second serves against Pablo, so he did little better against Dominic in this match with 41. But Dominic, of course, he was little better than Sasha there. Dominic won 48% behind his second serves. So the match was even, guys, in these stats. It was not big difference between these guys. I believe that even on the unforced and winners department, they were pretty even. I believe that Dominic, he did 43 winners all in all in the match and did 55 unforced errors. So he does 12 more unforced errors than winners. 43 winners and 55 unforced errors. So 12 more unforced errors than winners. The same the stat is for Sasha Zverev. He also did 12 more unforced errors than winners. I believe Sasha did, in the end of the day, in the entire match, 43, 60, yeah, 60, 52, yes, 52 winners Sasha, I believe, did. Yes, 52 winners, and did 64 unforced errors. So even Sasha as well does 12 more unforced errors than winners. So in that department, very similar as well. Dominic does 12 more unforced errors than winners. Sasha does 12 more unforced errors than winners. So you can see these guys were very, very close in each other. And I believe that Dominic, he braked 1 less time than Sasha, actually. I believe Dominic braked 7 times. 7 out of 13 opportunities, which is 54%. Sasha braked 8 times, 8 out of 18 opportunities, which is 44%. So Dominic was little more efficient in breaking serve. And in the end of the day, Dominic actually braked just 1 time less than Sasha. Sasha braked Dominic's serve 8 times, and Dominic braked Sasha's serve 7 times. So this match was really close. In the end of the day, who won this match? The better player, the more talented player? No, guys. Dominic is a better player than Sasha, in my opinion. Dominic is more talented than Sasha, in my opinion. But in tonight's match, it was not Dominic's talent who won the match. It was not Dominic's skill who won the match. It was Dominic's head who won the match. In the end of the day, it was Sasha's, Zverev's serve who let him down. He could barely serve in the tiebreak, for God's sakes. He could barely serve. Sasha will never forget this match because Dominic could barely walk in that tiebreak. He could barely walk. You could see that by yourself, guys. He could barely walk. He was cramping, and in a miraculous way, he still won the match. 8-6 in that tiebreak. 8-6. How did he do it? By just being the stronger player mentally. None of these two players are superior strong mentally. They are strong, of course. You cannot be weak mentally if you are a top 10 player and win tennis tournaments like both of these two guys have done. Both of these two guys have won Masters before. Sasha has won 3, Dominic has won 1. But they are not even as close. Not even as close. They are miles away, like the moon is miles away from the sun, as strong mentally like the big 3 are, Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. When we see these players who are not named Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer struggle this much with nerves, this tells us what kind of machines the big 3 are. They are not human, guys. They are not human. They are not bloody human, for God's sakes. And because when we tend to forget that sometimes, even many times, we tend to forget that. And when do we realize that the big 3 are super machines mentally? When we see other players play for big titles, like we saw tonight with Sasha, Zverev and Dominic Thiem. The match was back and up and down. First Sasha was in the lead, then Dominic came back, and even the match 2-2. Then Dominic was a break up in the 5th set. Then Sasha break back in the 5th set. Then Sasha break again. Sasha was serving for the match in 5-3 game to win the title in that 5-3 game. Then Dominic was serving for the match in that 6-5 game. None of them could serve out the match. None of them. None. And then the tiebreak, also nerves. Dominic was 6-4 up. He had huge opportunity to close out the match with his favorite shot, with his forehand. We all know that his forehand is much better than his backhand. We all know that. He hit the net. He hit the net when he had that huge opportunity to win the title in that 6-4 game. In that 6-4 point, he hit the net. And why did he do that? All because of the nerves. Because of the nerves. Nothing else, guys. Nothing else. So, in the end of the day, the nerves won the match for Dominic Thiem. Not his talent, not his skills. He was just little cooler than Sasha Zverev. And in the end of the day, the serve won. Sasha Zverev has a much better first serve than Dominic Thiem. We all know that. But Sasha Zverev's second serve is not good. It's not good. My God, when Sasha Zverev was serving to stay in that match, in the tiebreak, he barely rolled in that second serve. Barely. It almost touched the net. But somehow it went over. And he made the match 6-6. 6-6, and then in the end Dominic won that tiebreak 8-6. Very deservedly winner for Dominic Thiem. I really feel the pain with Sasha Zverev. He was crying after the match. I can really feel it because he felt it. My God, if he cannot beat this Dominic Thiem, who was not in he was not superior in this match, absolutely not. Sasha Zverev will win Grand Slams. He will do it. But will he do it that against big three, Djokovic, Nadal, and forget Federer? Federer will not. He's not any big, huge threat anymore because he's 39 years old. But when Sasha Zverev will play his next Grand Slam final, because he will play more Grand Slam finals in his career because he's young, and if that dude on the other side of the net is Djokovic or is Nadal, Zverev will not have a chance, for God's sakes. He will have a chance, but they are not mentally weak in big moments, Nadal and Djokovic, like Thiem is. Now I understand why Thiem lost that Open final against Djokovic. He gets tight in big moments. He just gets tight in big moments. It is not easy to win these Grand Slams, guys. That's why these big three are unbelievable. They are unbelievable what they have done. They are truly unbelievable. I believe that Djokovic, Nadal and Federer, they have won together 56 Grand Slam titles. Djokovic, Nadal and Federer, they have won together 56 Grand Slam titles, if I'm counting right in my head. 56. That is unbelievable when you see this kind of match with this kind of nerves. It was a good, solid match. It was not a superior match. It was not a quality, great match. The match was up and down. Many mistakes from both of the players. Like I said, both of these two players do more unforced errors than what they do winners. They did 12 more unforced errors each. But congratulations to Dominic Thiem. He deserved it. Sasha would have deserved that as much as Dominic, but in the end of the day, Dominic was just slightly better. Not with ground strokes, not with talent, but with his head. That is my opinion. And at the end of the day, like I said earlier in the video, Dominic wins 163 points, Sasha wins 159 points. So Dominic wins only 4 more points than Sasha. That is to prove how close this match was. Congratulations to Dominic Thiem's first ever Grand Slam title. Congratulations to his 17th title overall. I believe he has 16, and now he's won his 17th. Yeah, guys, what can I say more? I don't have more to say. It was a fun match to watch, in my opinion. Not great quality of tennis, absolutely not. But it was drama. We had the drama there. You didn't know who will be the winner until the last point because it was so up and down. It was so up and down. And for that sake, it was fun to watch because you didn't know until the last point who the winner would be. And in the end, that winner was Dominic Thiem. So guys, this is it. It was a long video. I hope you enjoyed this US Open final and this US Open final breakdown that I did. Take care and bye-bye.